Oh, hello everyone. Hannah Arendt analyzes imperialism and the origins of totalitarianism, arguing that 19th century European imperialist expansion created the conditions for 20th century totalitarianism. She distinguishes modern imperialism from earlier forms of empire by its pursuit of expansion for expansion's sake, leading to the normalization of a limited power, bureaucratic rule, and racism. The link between imperialism and totalitarianism. Arendt's analysis forms a crucial boomerang thesis, which suggests that the methods and ideologies developed during the imperialist period in the colonies were eventually imported back into Europe and applied by totalitarian regimes. Key continents include the pursuit of limitless power. While classical imperialism was often limited by national interests, the expansionist logic of modern imperialism replaced national boundaries with the boundless globe-spanning hunger for power. This set the precedent for totalitarian ambition of total global rule. The use of race is an ideological weapon. Imperialism relied on racial theories to justify the violent domination and dehumanization of colonized peoples. This established a precedent where people could be made for superfluous based on their racial identity, a concept later exploited by totalitarian regimes against their own populations. The rise of bureaucratic rule. With imperial expansion, bureaucratic control became a primary mechanism for ruling over people from afar. Unbound by the ethical structures of the nation-state, this unchecked lawless rule in the colonies, she argues, prefigured the methods used by totalitarian secret police, the erosion of the nation-state. Imperialism's disregard for national boundaries and laws led to weakening of the nation-state as a protector of its citizens. This contributed to the creation of millions of stateless refugees after World War I, a group that totalitarian regimes could easily target. The role of the bourgeoisie and the mob. Arendt identifies two social forces that drove this process. The bourgeoisie, the capitalist class, demanded economic expansion beyond national markets to prevent their superfluous capital from becoming unproductive. They partnered with the state to export money, leading to the export of power and the disregard for law required to protect these investments. The mob. The marginalized and alienated members of society, the mob, were organized by the bourgeoisie to support the violent, expansionist aims of imperialism. This mass mobilization became a core feature of totalitarian movements, critical assessments, and ongoing relevance. Arendt's arguments remain highly influential, particularly in post-colonial studies and genocide studies. Recent scholarly work continues to engage with her ideas and their implications. However, some critics have pointed to the limitations in her analysis, arguing that she may have downplayed the brutal reality of colonialism in a way that suggests a distinction between good and bad empires. Despite these critiques, her work remains a foundational text for understanding how the seeds of totalitarianism were sown in the colonial past. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a nice day.